Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cinnamon Stitches. I am your yarn host Jennifer, and as always, I don't know why I hit the record button and then I start moving stuff on my desk every time. Have you noticed that? I'm trying to make room for today's video. Let me move some stuff out of the way. Alright. I'm recording this on Friday because I'm trying really hard not to work on Mondays anymore. Or not Mondays. I'm trying really hard not to work on the weekends. And I also have a busy weekend planned. Hopefully the hurricane didn't hit us too bad. The hurricane is heading straight up the center, right where we're going to be. We're going to get a bunch of rain. It's already oversaturated outside. It has been raining and gloomy for at least 2 weeks now, and I'm so over it. I don't do well when the weather's real dark. Like, I need sunshine. That's why I moved out of Michigan, because we would have 4 months of this crap, and it would either be gray, gloomy, rainy, or snowy for 4 months in Michigan, and sometimes 6 months. Like, is bad. I just don't do well in dark weather. I need sunshine. And my mental health does suffer when it's been dark for too long. I also, this time of year is hard on me because I get really bad anxiety in the fall, because the majority of people that I have loved that have passed away in the fall, which is like, I just don't like dark days. It's not good for my mental health. And Bentley didn't come to work with me. Now he's scratching at the door because now he wants in. But he's busy following people that got food. And so, yeah. Monday Makes on the channel here is me generally showing you what I've made in the past 7 days, give or take. I have not finished a whole lot. So I'm going to show you 2 WIPs that I'm working on, because I don't think they're going to be finished even by Monday when you're watching this. I don't predict any of this being done. I am drinking Dr. Pepper Zero out of my Ursula cup. And soft focus is on my camera again. I need to figure out why it turns on automatically. There we go. My Ursula cup. For all you that don't have this cup, you poor unfortunate souls. I love the Rae Dunn cups. Why? Because there's like a sip-in hole right there. I think it's a neurodivergent thing. I like when the cup has that weird, like, it's not perfectly circular, so it tells me to drink from right there. If you are neurodivergent, if you are any kind of weird like I am, you will understand exactly why that's an important cup. I also really love the square glass Mickey Mouse cups from McDonald's from like the early 90s. Was it the early 90s? No. It was the 2000 cups. Because I had a couple, but they keep breaking, and I'm not paying $10 a cup anymore, so I think we only have one left. You know what I'm talking about. They were square cups from McDonald's, and they were the Disney World cups. Yeah, I have one left. No, one. I had a bunch of them, and I got kids, okay? I've had kids a long time. They get broke. And so I like those because they're square, and I always drink from one of the corners. Alright, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that. Alright, what's going on in Cinnamon Stitches land? Bentley, my favorite dog in the whole world, is outside the door scratching because he wants to come in. So I'm going to let him in because he loves going to work with mommy, so I'll be right back. Now he's going to either lay on the rug or he's going to go to his bed, which is over here. So, Bentley, lay down. What's going on? Let's see. Still got a little bit of the COVID cough. Feeling way better. Now I'm going to tell you, the reason I was getting irritated with Mr. Cinnamon coughing last week in the videos, because he doesn't cover. He also kissed me 100 times. He kisses me when he comes home. He kisses me when he leaves. And he just gave me germs. And then when he sneezes, he also doesn't cover. And he goes, ah, ew. He screams, sneezes. I don't know why. I don't know why. My dad used to do the same thing. I think it's a man thing. So he gave me the COVID. Little man, I'm positive Little man and Juju both have COVID as well. However, Little man's, I ability to fight it off is like, he got a little bit of for a couple days. That's it. That's all he got. We gave him a little bit of cough syrup. He was good to go. No other symptoms. Me personally, I felt like I was going to get real sick, and I didn't, and I'm so grateful. And I got really mad because this is like the 6th time me and him have had COVID. And I've had 2 shots of the COVID booster thing, okay? Now, this has nothing to do with nothing. This is not advice whether you should have got it, whether you shouldn't have got it, whether you did get it, whether you should get it in the future. None of that matters to my story, okay? I got COVID for the first time in 2019. Before the whole rest of the world shut down, I got it. And they didn't know what I had. And if you go back and watch videos from like December 2019, you're going to see how sick I was. And I was so sick that one night, they put me on several rounds of antibiotics and they could not get me better. And then it settled in my lungs and I got pneumonia. Okay? One night, I went up the stairs to go to my bed, and I made it as far as the bathroom, and I sat down on the toilet, and I was coughing and wheezing, and I was having a hard time breathing. And I had felt like my ribs were broke because of the coughing was so bad, and I'm leaning on the sink, and Mr. Cinnamon comes up, and I was like, if you don't get me into the doctor's tomorrow, I'm going to end up in the hospital or dead. That is how sick I felt. I don't say that very lightly to him. I do not. And I was sick until I think February is finally when I got better. I was sick for months. And it just kept like, I would start to feel a little bit better and then it would just take hold of me again. And it would start to feel a little better. It would take hold of me again. I don't think I've ever in my life been that sick. And so when the COVID vaccine came, now Mr. Cinnamon's the one that gave me COVID back then too, because we were at Disney World and I told him, because there was whispers of the COVID thing happening, right? There was whispers. And it was on the news and stuff. And we had went to Disney World and we went to the China Pavilion and Mr. Cinnamon wanted to get Chinese food we were at the Food and Wine Festival, right? And I'm sitting looking into there's these little shacks that serve food around Epcot. And it was one of the temporary shacks for the Food and Wine Festival. And I'm looking in the kitchen and there is a man in there preparing the Chinese food. And he is wiping and sweating and blowing and sweating and changing his gloves. And I'm like, I'm not eating from this booth. That guy's sick. And there's already the whispers of COVID, right? And rumors is coming from China. And we're at a Chinese pavilion. I was like, I'm not... Mr. Cinnamon, don't get food. I'm telling you, don't get food from China. Don't do it. He did. He got sick. He passed it on to me. I got real sick. And the whole time I was sick, I was like, it's because you ate at China. I told you not to eat at China. I told you not to eat at China. I was so sick. I was so mad at him. And this time, the same thing. I was like, you got me sick. I told you not to get me sick. My battery's dead. I swear when I turned the camera on, it said it was full. Hang on. Alright, so. He is paying, right? I was supposed to get an appointment last week to start my physical therapy. I'm like, I'm too sick. I can barely breathe. I made it up the stairs at one point. And it felt like it was a repeat of that first time. Like I said, I've had COVID 6 times. And I can't get the vaccine anymore because the first 2 times I got the vaccine, I got a horrible body reaction. My lymph nodes in my shoulder, right here, both sides, my armpit, the lymph nodes swelled up. My armpit swelled up like a softball. Like it was huge under here. And like the whole side of my body that I got the shot on, the lymph nodes were just exploding. It felt like it was so painful. I can't even describe to you how painful it felt to have my lymph nodes that swollen. And when I told the doctor, and he's all, well, I can't get you in. And then by the time I got in, all symptoms had disappeared in like 2 days. But for those 2 days, child, I did not want another vaccine. Not gonna happen. So, it's not gonna happen. I told the doctor, he goes, yeah, I wouldn't get another vaccine either if I was you. That's not pleasant, you know. So I'm kind of like irritated because the vaccine doesn't seem to keep it away. Although I got better faster. I felt like I got really, really sick the first couple days. And then I woke up and I was like, wow, I feel like 50% better. And I expected to feel worse. And Mr. Cinnamon right off the bat started me on Mucinex because that's the only thing that helps. I'm not giving drug recommendations, so that's what works for us. I also have to be careful what medication I take because I have high blood pressure, diabetes, etc. Some of the medications I'm on interact with other medications, so I can't take Motrin. It's a whole thing, okay? So, I felt better, 50% better, and I was shocked. I also was taking vitamin C cough drops. So I got a good dose of vitamin C in. We started on the Mucinex as soon as I started to feel sick. And my ears filled up with fluid, and I put a heat pad on. I've been sleeping for the past 3 nights with a heating pad. Little man's really loud. Always. I put the heating pad on, slept with it all night long. Wake up when it turns off, turn it back on. And it drains some of the fluid out of my ears. So hopefully I don't need an antibiotic. I feel better. I'm no longer contagious. I will have to wait to tell you if we actually made it to the Fiber Festival or not, because like I said, I'm recording this on Friday. If I made it to the Fiber Fest, check my Instagram because I will post pictures. There's supposed to be goats there, and I really like goats. So we'll see. I will post on Instagram if I go to the Fiber Festival, and that will be a video later in the week if I went. If not, I didn't go, and I'm crying in my bed. So what I like to do on Mondays is I give you a weekend update, what's been going on. I show you what I'm working on, what I have finished, crochet-wise or knit-wise or even spinning-wise. Have not spun in weeks, and I'm missing it, but I like spinning outside, and the weather is garbage, so I can't. Where's my phone? I can't spin outside, and I could spin in the living room. I know this. Oh, my package from Joann's has been delivered, but it's sitting right there, so I already know that. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give a homeschool update for those of you that are interested in how homeschool is going. Alright, so, and I also give you an update of what should be coming this week as far as videos. So tomorrow, which is October 1st, I believe. October 1st. I am so behind. I have written nothing down in my planner last week. I didn't write nothing down. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm 2 weeks behind. We're in October now. Oh, we will be in October. Yeah, October 1st is Tuesday. Alright. So, scissors. Tuesday, tomorrow, stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing something with Kayla. So Tuesday's going to be Kayla Day. If you don't know who Kayla is, she is Llama Mama Kayla. Go check her out. But tomorrow you're going to hear all about Kayla because her and I are working on something together. Wednesday is going to be Joanne. Because I have a Joanne. We're probably going to fit in no. I'm going to just put the Happy Mail in this video. Thursday will be the Fiber Fest. If I go. And then we're going to try for another tutorial on Friday, if you guys are up for that. I've been having fun doing the little tutorials on Friday, so that's going to change. It's not going to be every Friday we're going to do a tutorial. We're going to mix it up. It might be on a Thursday, it might be on a Friday, it might be on a Wednesday, like whenever we fit it in. It just seems like towards the end of the week, things get easier on me, and it's easier for me to fit a tutorial in on a Thursday like record it on Thursday and put it up for Friday. But week to week, everything changes. All right, so what have I been working on? All right. I have 2 WIPs I'm going to show you because I can't seem to finish either of those. But I'm going to show you this. So you guys remember, I was talking about this in a video. Fluffy, it's the fluffy yarn from Unger. Unger is made in France. Where's my glasses? They're dirty because I keep flipping them up onto my hair. All right, made in France. It is 100% acrylic yarn. Machine washable, instructions on the reverse side. It's fuzzy yarn. I have a bunch of it back here. Now, I had talked about, see, isn't it pretty? It's fluffy. It's literally fluffy. And it has my hair on it because that's purple. I was sent a bunch of this in 2 different Happy Mail packages because I had mentioned that I liked it. And then one person emailed me and was like, hey, I have some, and she sent me some. Which was browns and pink. I think there's another color in there too. Alright, so I set it aside, and then I got more Happy Mail like the next week, and it was a whole bunch of purple tweed. And it's beautiful. It's under this white shelf that's back here. It's under there. It's in a Ziploc bag still. So I'm like sitting here, and it's right there in a bucket that's open behind me. And that I pulled down from the shelves because it is my cotton, and I've been working with my cotton lately. And so I pulled, I hit my bone on my desk. Whew, that was like a funny bone reaction. It's been, the Unger has been sitting on top of the cotton, which drives me crazy because the Unger is not cotton. It doesn't belong in the cotton box. And I keep seeing the browns, and I'm not a fan of brown. I'm going to say that right off the bat. I don't like the color brown. I don't know why. I don't like working with it. I don't like wearing it. I don't like neutrals at all, which is why you will see I work with a lot of beautiful bright color. Okay. And so I'm like, I need to make something with that brown now, or it's going to sit, because brown does not inspire me. I say that. I loved working with this. I love the finished product of what it was, or what it is. These don't, I don't know if these labels are even correct, because one of these says tweed, and this is not the tweed. So, I think the tweed was a different color. And I don't know where I put that tweed, because it's not in the cotton, but it doesn't matter. None of that matters. Okay, so it's the chocolate brown. Is that a chocolate brown? Yeah, it's a chocolate brown with like a butterscotch. So this is like chocolate chip peanut butter cookies is what it reminds me of. So I started off with the idea, I'm going to make a scarf, but I'm going to use the stitch from Luke's blanket. Now I did change the stitch. So for Luke's blanket, which is a tutorial here that I have made for my son Lucas, I did 3 stitches. So I did 3 double crochet, chain 3, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 3, and that's, watch the tutorial, you understand. For this one I did 5, so it's 5 double crochet, chain 5, 5 double crochet, and then the next row you just watch the tutorial. I did a multiple of 5 instead of a multiple of 3, okay? And that's what the scarf looks like. And instead of working the scarf short way, I worked it the length. So I did just like I would do the blanket. I think this is beautiful. I'm so happy with the way this turned out. And I very purposely put the caramel or the peanut butter color on this side, or the butterscotch. Well, it's peanut butter. This is peanut butter cups, right? So I put the peanut butter color on this side and then the chocolate color on this side. It makes the eye draw across the pattern, I believe, right? The scarf is well over my wingspan, so I'm gonna say it's probably 7 feet. The scarf's about 7 feet. I just think it's pretty. I think it's pretty, and it's long enough to do this type of deal. It needs to be washed because this yarn is from either the early 80s or the 70s. And so it has an older smell to it, and I don't wash yarn before I use it, so it still needs to be washed. It still smells a little bit musty. It doesn't smell bad, it just smells like, it reminds me of the thrift store. It smells a little bit dusty. It does not smell horrible. It does need to be washed, but it's machine washable, okay? Is this not pretty? I'm just so happy with it. And when I decided I was done with the scarf, I finished it off. And then I had enough left over. I was going to try to make a hat. I didn't have enough to make a hat, so I made an ear warmer to match. I just love the way it feels. It's soft and furry and squishy. A yarn that is the closest to this that's on the market now is the Jiffy yarn from, I think it's Lion Brand. Is Jiffy from Lion Brand? Let me double check. I think I have a bunch of them up there. Jiffy yarn, not Jiffy Lube Live. Yeah, Lion Brand Jiffy is really similar to this. What did I do with the pink? I threw the pink ball back there. And I have a bunch, but I just like this yarn. So again, this is the Unger Fluffy. If you ever find it at a thrift store, and you ain't gotta buy it, you might not like this yarn. It's really furry. So I just think this is beautiful. I love the way it turned out. And even though I don't like brown at all, I love this. I think it's so pretty. That's what it looks like. See how it's like, there's not real great stitch definition on it because it's really fuzzy. But it's not hair, like it looks hairy. It's not, it doesn't feel woolly. It doesn't feel like itchy, scratchy. It's pushing my hair up though. There we go. That's a whole look. That's a whole look. I've always loved this yarn. I've always found it at thrift stores. And I just took to the ends and I evened them off. Because with the Luke's blanket too, I carry the yarn up so that I'm not cutting it at all. And because of that, there was loose string. So I did, I think 2 half double rows. Or a single and a half double row. I think this is stunning. I'm so happy with the way that turned out. So, there's that. So one project that I have finished this week. Haven't weaved in the ends yet. And I am going to be coughing because I took my Mucinex late today. Alright, next project that I have finished. You guys saw the tutorial. I made eyeglass cases. Okay? They have eyeglasses in them. And I put the matches. So I did the green and the pink and the green and the pink. And then this one has my blue glasses because it's the blue one. I prefer the look of the Bloom chenille over this one. But I prefer the thickness of this one more. So I got my extra eyeglasses over there. Finished that. That is also a tutorial here in case you missed it. It was last week. Now, what have I not finished? What have I not finished? That's the question. I started this wrap. I don't know how many days ago now. I got the yarn on my little double spiral thingy. I'm outer pulling. I don't like inner pulling anymore because this is so much easier. I don't know. I'm not trying to talk anyone into stop inner pulling because I'm still inner pulling with this and it's irritating me and I wish I would have put it on my spindle because the cake is collapsing on itself. I have to do extra pulls like that. It is what it is. Okay, so anyway. I started this and I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I am fighting working this and finishing it up and I don't know why. The yarn is beautiful. This is the lighter color. This is the darker color. It's beautiful. This yarn is from Belgium. It was sent to me 2 years ago. Not the most recent Belgian box. It was the one from 2 years ago. And I've been holding on to it, trying to make the perfect project. And I don't think I put it in the right project. And I think that's why I'm struggling so hard. Because the yarn is gorgeous. I like the way the yarn feels. Like there's a certain like stretchiness to it. It feels cool. It's a cotton blend. I don't know what I did with the label. It was on my desk right here. But I also piled other crap on top, so it's probably underneath the yarn right there. I don't remember what this is called. And now it's going to drive me crazy. I don't know where I put the label. It's fine. Anyway, it's from Belgium. I can't get it here anyway. So I thought the two colors would go beautifully together. And they do, but they don't. So I don't know how I feel about the stark difference between the light and the dark. This is also supposed to be, it's supposed to be a wrap like all the other wraps I've been making. And this started off like the corner to corner granny square that I showed you guys. And then I moved in and I did V stitches. So I'm doing granny stitches, solid line, V stitches, 2 solid lines, granny, solid line, V stitch, etc. And I'm working it in the diagonal, but I'm losing stitches, as you can tell. It's getting thinner, so we're just going with it. I don't know where I'm screwing up. If I hold it this way, it looks fine. But when you look down towards the bottom is fatter. I think it's going to be fine when I block it and stretch it out. There's also, these are the same yarns, but there's a difference in thickness. This one's slightly thicker. And that might be contributing. I don't know. I'm just not enjoying this project. I want it to be done. So I keep fighting and sitting down, and I can do a row or two and then I get bored or get irritated, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put it away for a little bit, and then I pick up another project and I start that one. So I don't know when this is gonna be finished. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to finish it. See, and I can see right here, I definitely lost stitches here. So it's when I'm going from the granny stitch to the V stitch, I'm losing stitches somewhere. Ugh. So I'm not going to frog it back. I'm going to muscle through, and it's going to be an uneven wrap, and we're going to call it a day. All right, next. I am working with Premier Spun Colors. This yarn got pulled out because I was doing the tutorial, or I wasn't doing a tutorial. I was doing the comparison video for the Big Twist Supernova. And I was working with it, and I was like, all right, what other yarns do I have that's similar to that? Because the Supernova is a 80-20 blend. So it's 80% acrylic, 20% wool. The Spun Colors from Premier Yarns is 65% acrylic, 35% fine superwash merino. And honestly, they're similarly priced. And I had this one, and I only have one of this colorway. This colorway is Summertime. And it's bright and beautiful, and it's fun, and I'm like, I want to work with that. So this one is 419 yards. This is 475. This says it's a 4-weight. This says it's a 2-weight. This is very thick thin, so some of it is as fine as a 1-weight, and some of it is as fine as a bulky weight. So there's thick thin parts to it. It's roving style. I have worked with the Spun Colors before. I have a tutorial on the channel in the Spun Colors yarn. I believe I did the Elena wrap using the Spun Colors. So if you search out the Elena wrap, you'll find more examples. I've also knit this up, The Spun Colors knit is micro stripes. Especially if you do it in the, well, if you knit it at all, it's micro stripes. But when you crochet with it, you get like watercolor, which is more my jam. So I'm once again doing a corner to corner style wrap, but I'm doing traditional corner to corner, and I'm following Hooked by Robin's tutorial for making, you can't even see it. There's holes. You see the holes? I'm not doing it exactly like hers, and I don't remember what her tutorial is called. Just look up Hooked by Robin. It's a recent tutorial, and it's corner to corner with holes in it. And she does holes every other row. I'm doing holes every 4th or 5th row. 1, 2, 3. Every 4th row, I think. This is what it's looking like. I love the colors in this. I think this is so fun. I love, and I know you can't really see them, but I love the way the color, the holes are. Now you can see the holes. I just think this is turning out super cool. And it's going to be a beautiful wrap. It's going to be beautiful. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? This will make a beautiful top. I mean, I could make 2 rectangles and then sew them together. I mean, it's just beautiful. Wouldn't that be a beautiful shirt? I know you agree with me, but well, that might fit. I mean, I don't have enough to make a whole top, but how beautiful would that be? So, that's the other project I haven't finished, but I'm finding more joy in working on this one than that one. I think because the yarn is way thicker. This, I think, is a number 1 yarn. It was really thin. This is, like I said, it goes thick, thin. So there'll be spots where, let's see if I can find one. I can't even find it now. Where the stitch is just like real right here. And it's hard to see. Let's see how it's sticking out a little bit right here. Because it's real thick right here. And then there'll be spots where it's much thinner. And you can feel it when you rub your hand across. Here's another example. It gets real thick right here. And see how the stitch sticks out? I love this so much. Isn't that beautiful? So, I'm finding joy in that. Because the colors make me happy. When it's so dark and dreary. I mean, you can see, it's 2 in the afternoon. Is it 2 in the afternoon? It might even be 1. It's 1:30 in the afternoon. Look how dark it is outside. No sunshine. I got lights on in the whole house trying to brighten it up. So the colors are really what's making me want to work with this. But it's also a fatter yarn, so it's working up faster. But really, it's the colors that's making my heart sing. And it's squared off. It's not all uneven like the other one. So I may be purchasing some more of this colorway because that is gorgeous. And that would make a fantastic top. Do you agree? I know some of you are like, I would never wear bright colors like that. That's okay. You can wear neutrals. I'm going to be over here with my bright colors. So, that's what I'm working on. That's all the crochetery I have done this week. Now I'm going to show you the Happy Mail that I got. There's not a lot. And I also had a yellow thing saying that there's another package I need to pick up, but I picked up all my packages. So I may have to go in there and be like, hey, what the heck's going on? All right, I got a card from Nancy. Nancy is in North Carolina. I haven't read it yet because she wrote me a really long book in there, and I haven't. Hang on one second. Alright, I ran out of memory on my memory card. That's what happens when you make a bunch of tutorials. Alright. She also said not to read this. She said, please don't read on YouTube. So, I am going to read that in private. But, actually, I'm going to read it right now. Hang on. Okay. Nancy, I'm not going to read or disclose anything that was in that card. The card on the front says, people like you add little touches of color and warmth to life. I'm going to say this. And this is directly to you, Nancy. I'm trying to figure out the best way to word this. It is one of my greatest gifts in my life has been able to, one of my greatest gifts is to be able to not only relate to other people by sharing my stories, and honestly, I think my stories, by sharing them and having them mean something to other people, I think that gives the hurt a purpose. And Nancy has shared some very personal things in that card, and she's been through hard times, and she is thanking me for helping her see the light, or to laugh, or to come out of some of that. And that is a gift to me, that I'm able to do that. Life is hard. Anybody that pretends that life is easy is lying to themselves, because life is hard. It's real hard. And we go through ups and downs, and sometimes when you're in the downs, like this year has been hard on me too. And when you're in the trenches and you're like fighting to see the light, and you're like, God, is there even ever going to be a way out of this? Like, is it going to be like this forever? You feel stuck, you feel scared, you feel alone. And it's not fun. And I tend to put laughter, I use laughter a lot to not only heal myself, to deal with the crap. But I think laughter, laughter is medicine. It really, truly is. And I think that's why I try so hard to come on here and just put my best foot forward and just be funny and stupid and share everything that I share with you guys, because it makes me feel not alone. So it is a very selfish act. I come here and I'm very selfish. I want to feel like other people understand what I'm going through, and I want to feel like I'm not alone. And in that, it is a very selfish act to share what I'm going through, because it helps heal me a little bit, but also it helps others. When we share our stories, it helps others. There are other people going through exactly what you're going through exactly what I'm going through. And there's not a need to hide, and there's not a need to pretend that everything's okay when it's not. It is okay to cry. It is okay to feel all of those emotions. And it has taken me 40 some years to learn that it is okay to be angry. It is okay to be sad. It is okay to cry. It is okay to say, I am not okay. It takes a lot of courage to say I'm not okay, though, because it's easier to put a mask on. Now, with that, I'm sorry you have gone through so much, Nancy. That sounds like a lot to deal with. And I'm so happy that my stupid self on here can make you smile or laugh or feel any kind of happiness. But that's also a gift to me that I'm able to do that. So thank you for sharing with me. And yeah, I see you in the comments. I see you in the comments all the time. Nancy's been around a while, and Nancy comments a lot. So I'm sending you my love, sweetheart. And it will get better. You just gotta hang on. And I will happily be here for you every day when I can. Alright, next. This Happy Mail came from Amazon. This is from Kelly. The better to see you with, which is hilarious. She said, I don't use safety eyes, so if they aren't big enough, return them and get what you want. They're big enough. She sent me some eyeballs. I was talking because I was showing the ghost. I was like, I wish I had bigger eyes, but I don't. And I just used, these are the biggest eyes I had, and these are the last pair I had. All my eyes are real tiny eyes, and I don't use the tiny eyes. because I don't make teeny tiny amigurumi. I would rather make big amigurumi. And I mentioned in the video when I was making the ghost or showing the ghost, I was like, I need to order more eyes, and I just didn't get around to it. I should have known. Every time I mention a need or a want on this channel, poof, they appear. These are good size eyeballs. Oh, they got a little tape on them to protect them. Oh, these are cute. Alright, so these eyeballs, see how these have the pupil in the center of the eye? These are cockeyed. So you can have them looking inward, looking to the side. And then it has the color discs so that the clear part that you see will be colored. I like making my eyeballs blue. No, my eyes are not blue. You just put the little color disc on there and voila, they're blue eyes. And I know it's not, I see focus is on here again. I was wondering why it wasn't focusing. Gives it the blue sparklies. The reason I do blue, and it comes with, these caps are different than the caps that I have. So they encapsulate the eye. These are cool. Well, that's bag number one. The reason I like doing blue eyes is because, and I keep getting distracted from my own self, both of my children have blue eyes. And they have blue eyes different from each other. So Juju's are a much fairer blue. Hers are almost like aqua blue. And little man's are a really deep ocean blue. My eyes are hazel, so depending on the mood, depending on the weather, depending on how sick I feel, my eyes go between green and brown. But not like a red brown, but like a an amber color. Mr. Cinnamon has red brown eyes. So the fact that we have two children with blue eyes is funny. But my dad had blue-green hazel eyes, and a bunch of people on my mom's side had blue eyes. And it was just random. Like my mom had red brown eyes, and then like a couple of my uncles and my aunt had either blue or blue-green hazel eyes. And then it's like blue brown. Like it was really strange on my mom's side of the family. I don't know. So I know that somewhere my genetics lead to my children having blue eyes, and the fact that they have two different shades of blue eyes is hilarious to me. But a lot of times I will make amigurumi and I will give them blue eyes because my kids. And then this is even more eyeballs. These are huge. Eyeball. So when I opened this, because Mr. Cinnamon took me to the post office, I was like, I guess I need to make some more amigurumi. I don't know if these are different sizes. Alright, so these are the blue eyes. These are green. Purple, yellow, and silver. So it looks like they might be the same size, just sorted by color. Which is crazy because the eyeballs are the same. Yeah, and these have plastic on them to keep them from being scratched. That's kind of cool. Green sparkle. Now, I've been watching Sandy from Crochet Canada, and she decorates her own eyeballs with glitter and stuff. I ain't got the patience for that. But I think that's really cool. This is more along this is where my gifts lie. I just grab the eyeballs and I clip them in, but she's got some really beautiful eyes she's been doing. So thank you so much, Kelly. I am definitely going to put these to good use. And these are going to last me forever and ever. Oh, the zipper thing came off. Oh well. Those are going to go in a plastic. I separate them and store them in containers like that, so they're going to get separated anyway, but thank you so much for that. Them definitely are going to come in handy. Alright, now this comes the time of the video where I'm going to talk about homeschool and personal things. So if you don't want to hear that, you can shut the video off, come back tomorrow, and we're going to be doing a video with Kayla tomorrow. And then Wednesday I got a Joann's order. Although Wednesday might not be Joann's. Wednesday might be the yarn festival if I go to that. So there's going to be yarn content this week. And hopefully I can come up with a cool tutorial. If you guys want, I can show you how to make this. That would be fun. And then we can use the new yarn from Joann's, or you can use the spun colors. Let me know your opinion if you want to learn how to do this. I mean, you absolutely could just go over to Hook by Robins and like alter what her blanket is, but that's a little bit different than her blanket. I did change it up. Now, homeschool. Because I'm recording this on Friday, I just finished our 3rd week of homeschool. How did this week go compared to last? It was night and day. I really think last week was hard because we had went to Florida and like the week got our entire schedule got screwed up. And I know that little man does not do well when there's shifts in the schedule. I know that. And this week was amazing. This week was amazing. Not only were we doing an easier to understand math for him, because last week we were doing multiplication and we were doing like big multiplication. So like 3 numbers times 2 numbers or 3 numbers times 3 numbers, and like the answer was in the millions and stuff sometimes. So it was a lot more work and a lot more brain work. And because of his ADHD, he was having a hard time remembering what part of the, like it was a whole thing. He was having a hard time keeping track of where he was in the problem. So this week we're learning powers of 10, which is 10 to the 2nd power, 10 to the 3rd power, etc., which is ridiculously easy. All you have to do is whatever the exponent is. So it's 10 to the 2 power. You have 2 zeros on the answer. Okay? If it's 10 to the 7th power, you have 7 zeros on the answer. He picked up on it really quick. And he zoomed through it. And the math was what we were struggling with last week. So not only did we get all this week's math done, he also did the quiz, which was on the schedule for next week. Nailed it, right? Science. Last week, when we were having difficulty with math, he wanted to do extra science. I'm perfectly fine with that. You want to do extra anything, let's do it. You don't want to do math today, you want to only do science, we can do that too. We can move math till tomorrow, and you just double up on the math tomorrow. I'm completely like, we're going to not have strict boundaries. This is not public school. There are no rules, okay? I mean, there's some rules, but. So last week, even though he was having a real hard time with math, he chose to do extra science. Because he did extra science, he's doing 2 different curriculums for science. He's doing the online curriculum for science, and I have a whole workbook that's the science, it's its own science curriculum. And I did that because he really likes science. And I love science, so I'm very glad to do those lessons with him. It's fun for both of us. He way did advance. He finished his whole first lesson or chapter of science on the computer. And then he went, and this week he did the whole first chapter of science in the workbook. 2 very different subjects. So on the computer we were learning about matter and the properties of matter and all that good stuff. My throat was hurting, I'm talking too much. In the workbook we were learning about scientists and how scientists learn, and how we were learning about hypothesis and safety in the science lab, and what is safe and what is not. We were learning about what makes a good scientist, and there was 2 stories we read about the Wright brothers and them inventing the flying contraption known as an airplane. And it talked about how they studied other people's work, like what other people were doing trying to invent the airplane. And it talked about how they understood that They needed to control the flying over everything else because some of the other things had already been accomplished. And we figure out how to get it off the air, but steering is the real problem. And so it talked about, even though they were bicycle people, they took scientific methods to figure things out, and that was the lesson. And then another lesson was, I don't remember the scientist. He wasn't a professional scientist. He is a scientist by theory. He wasn't an official. He was not a professional. And the whole point of the lesson is that even though he was not a professional, people did not take him seriously because he wasn't a professional. He was able to figure out pollination with plants and how the genes of plants work. And so we learned about genes, but we also learned that you don't have to be a professional scientist to follow the scientific rules, etc. He really enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. It was fun lessons. And then he also took the test. So he's done with the 2 first chapters on both curriculums. And then today, which is Friday, he's like, can I move ahead in the science? I was like, yeah. So he started chapter 2 online, and he did all next week's assignments already. So we're actually 2 weeks ahead in science, because we're a week ahead on the online curriculum and a week ahead in the book, which is fantastic. He really, really enjoyed it. We flew through the math, like I said, this week, and then he did the test that's scheduled for Monday, so he doesn't have to do that on Monday. And then he got all of his book work and online work done yesterday in an hour and 10 minutes for 4 subjects. And I'm telling you, my kid is smart. I know that he's smart, but getting to witness it firsthand is insane. And I look at him like just with such admiration. Like, I'm so impressed by this kid. Like, I made that. I am teaching that. He's learning because of, like, it's so cool. It's so cool. So I'm learning a lot about his limits, and I'm learning that when he gets to a certain point where you just need to take a break and walk away for a few minutes, let him go play a 15-minute video game. And that really has helped him and me. And honestly, we're getting closer. And that's something that has been lacking for a while, because when he was in public school, if you don't know, if you're new here, he was getting bullied really severely. He was being physically beaten up, and he hated school so much. And from him having to conform for all those hours and having to sit still and constantly being told to stop moving, don't talk, pay attention, stop moving. Stop moving was the big one. He has ADHD. He never stops moving, even in his sleep. He moves. He is completely restless 100% of the day. Having to hold it together in such a strict environment during school, he would come home miserable, irritable, cranky, snapping at me. Everything was my fault. And seeing the difference, it's only been 3 weeks, but the first day of school, every year for the first day of school, it changes his personality. He's just more irritable. He's mean. And he's angry, and he's exhausted. And having him out of that environment and having a much more relaxed learning situation at home has completely changed him. He finishes school happy. Also, when you have ADHD and you get in trouble for stupid things like he's being loud, stop. He gets a lot of don'ts between school and home. There's a lot of don'ts. Don't do that. Stop that. Be quiet. Stop bouncing off the walls. Sit still. Don't tap your pencil. There's a lot of don'ts and stops directed at him. Okay? So you pile that up on top of his tiny little shoulders. He's not tiny anymore. He's 5'1", but like, you pile all the don'ts and the stops and the can'ts and the you're being bads. And then he's getting very little. Good job. You did it. I'm proud of you. That scale is way off in public school. And at home, me understanding his ADHD, because I have it myself, when we get irritated, we walk away. When we get overwhelmed, we walk away. We go breathe for a minute. I understand that because I can feel it. And then there's a lot of, he's sitting next to me and I'm learning along with him. So that if he's stumbling and I don't understand it, I'm learning with him. I'm doing the assignments with him. I'm writing the math problems out and solving them. So I'm sharper than I've ever been. Like, I'm relearning stuff I forgot. And we're doing it as a team together. We're in this together. And I keep telling him we're in this together. Like, I'm going to fail, you're going to fail, and it's going to be okay because we're doing it together. We're helping each other out. And I got to be easy on you, but you got to be easy on me because this is new to both of us. So not only is there a camaraderie that we're in it together, but there's a whole lot of high-fiving going on because, oh, we both got it, you know? Or he's getting it faster than me because he's got that quick little brain going on, and he's probably smarter than me. And he's nailing some of these things faster than me. And I'm like, yeah. The don'ts are going down and the attaboys are going up. The pats on the back, the high fives, the I'm so proud of you, you did it. The I'm hugging him. Like, and it's changing our relationship. I might cry. He's always been difficult. He came out difficult. He didn't sleep for 5 years. And by me saying he didn't sleep for 5 years, the two of us did not sleep for 5 years. And it was so bad that I went so long without sleep, I started hallucinating. It was bad. And I was raising 3 other kids on top of it. It was hard from the jump. Deciding to put him on medicine, hardest decision I ever made. Hands down. That did not come easily to me. There has been times where he has been so difficult, like I don't want to be a mom anymore. It's hard. Especially when you're dealing with like the school and you're fighting the school every single freaking day of the week. I'm fighting these people. You're not protecting my kid. How is he learning when he's getting beat up every day? Why is the teacher not watching? Mama Bear comes out, you know? And then he's coming home angry. And he's angry because of school stuff. He's taking it out on me. And I am the brunt of everything because I'm his safe spot. And I just take it. Because I know he's not meaning it. And right now, since the day I decided to homeschool him and said, you are not going back to that school ever, it has changed. The way we are relating to each other, the way we're communicating to each other, the way that he understands that I finally am protecting him the way I should have been doing all along. The way he understands that I got his back and I am pushing and rooting for him every step of the way. He finally gets it. And what I'm getting in return is not the I hate school, so I'm going to take it out on you. I'm getting beat up, so I'm going to take it out on you. What I'm getting in return is, this is fun, Mom. Wow, my mom's smart. She's not a moron. My mom's cool. I'm getting so many I love yous during the day. Even when it was bad last week, like he got angry with me and snapped at me and he immediately apologized. Which he doesn't do very often. And I've told Mr. Cinnamon, I've told Juju 100 times, like, do you see a difference in him? It is drastic. It is drastic, the difference I see in that boy. And I've even had a couple of you say, he's so much calmer in the background. Yeah. He's calmer. He's happier. He's learning. He's way more affectionate to me. It's been Mr. Cinnamon's still on the fence about homeschool. I'm gonna be real honest, he's on the fence. He only knows public school. I only know public school, you know? This is so new to us. He's still on the fence. He has not done the research I've done. He has not talked to any of you guys. I got an email from Kayla, Llama Mama Kayla. She homeschooled both her boys. Her boys went to college. Her boys have a really good, like, they are on their own. They got their own jobs going. Like, they're doing stuff, okay? Her boys are well adjusted. And the fact that they went to college is a big deal to me because that's something Mr. Cinnamon really worries about. And I was having a hard time. And Kayla emailed me. And she's like, you're doing a good job. Like, it gets hard. You're going to have hard days. But you're going to have good days and it's worth it. And I cried reading that email from her because I needed to hear that so bad at that moment. And I know she's been there. She's been there. Because if you're homeschooling and your kids fail, it's your fault. Like, you can't go yell at a teacher or the principal. It's your fault. If your kid's being bullied, you're the only one sitting there. You're bullying your kid. It's your fault, you know? If your kid's not getting it, you are the only one that needs to figure out how to teach it to them so they understand. There's a lot on your shoulders when you homeschool. And I don't take it lightly at all. Like, homeschool comes first, Cinnamon Stitches comes next, and the rest of everything else in my house is last. So there's laundry piling up. There's dishes in the sink. I've been using the Instapot because there's not time to cook dinner, you know. My floor needs to be vacuumed. I'm gonna be real. School comes first, then I work because this is a paycheck. This is helping pay the bills. This helped pay the deductible on the car because we got in a car accident. Like this, Mama's gotta work. Mama makes work a priority above it. Is Lucas's school, then that, and like everything else comes after that. And we're just rolling with the punches, you know. I'm so incredibly proud of myself for standing up and making this choice against my husband's wishes and doing it despite him not really helping me do it. But I'm gonna say this, he's not here. He works a full-time job. He keeps a roof over our head and he keeps the lights on. He keeps food on the table. Well, actually I pay the food bill too, but none of that matters. He does his part, but he was dragging his feet with the homeschool stuff. Like, he did not help me get him. He didn't help me find, and usually Mr. Cinnamon is all involved with all aspects. Like, we do everything as a team. This is the one thing where he just was dragging his feet. I'm like, I'm doing it anyway, and you're just going to have to follow. And he still is not sure. Like, maybe we need to put him back in public school next year because we'll be in a different district. But maybe not. And so I keep telling Mr. Cinnamon, like, this is why this is good for us. This is why it's good for him. The pressures of being in school and having to sit still are hard. I've been there. It's hard. Mr. Cinnamon had trouble in school because he learned differently. My husband is brilliant. He got bored in school. And he started getting into trouble. Joining gangs. Doing stupid crap. Getting in trouble. Whereas I just gave up because nobody cared. You know, nobody cared enough to figure out why I wasn't learning, why I wasn't doing my work, why I was getting bored in classroom and getting into trouble. Like, nobody. My mom didn't care. She didn't care that I wasn't doing homework. She didn't check in with me. Hey, did you do your homework? None of that. She didn't care. Education was not a priority to my parents. Or to Mr. Cinnamon's parents either. Like, let's be honest. We graduated on our own accord because we were both stubborn and we were like, yeah, this is not. How dare you tell me I'll never graduate? I'm going to graduate. And I graduated with honors because I did it on my own terms. And Mr. Cinema's sitting here with several college degrees because he just kept on. He's a lifer. He loves school. He's such a dork. But I think Mr. Cinnamon's finally coming around. Like when I went out of town, I left Mr. Cinnamon because this is my work planner, but I have a planner that's just for schoolwork and it's filled every day. This whole section is filled. Whereas my work planner, there's not as much in my work planner. I wrote down the entire day's plans that he needed to do, and then I wrote it in a notebook for him to check off. So these are what needs to be taken care of. And he didn't finish it all. And I think because he didn't finish it all, he kind of realized, like, ooh, that's not as easy as I'm thinking it is. Like, maybe she is actually doing something good. But none of this is to down on Mr. Cinnamon. He just doesn't understand because he has not read all the millions of things I have read. I really researched the curriculum before I paid for the curriculum. I really researched what other parents were saying. I read blog posts. I watched 100 videos on YouTube about homeschooling. I really paid attention to what some of my friends were saying. Like Kayla, Mama Kayla is a homeschooler. She homeschooled her kids. She's still helping to do homeschool with the neighbor kids. Like she's teaching them art, which is fantastic. I didn't know you could go outside and have other people teach your kids stuff. Like there are people that you could hire that will teach them art, computers, like all the extracurriculars. And if they need a math tutor, those are available too. Because we might need that when algebra hits. I do not understand algebra. Geometry, no problem. Algebra, none at all. Which we're learning both this year, okay? Ashley from Stitchin' Ain't Easy homeschools her kids. And I've never met nor seen her children, but from what she says, like, they're good people. You know? She's doing the dang thing. And I just didn't understand. I never understood how important it could be, especially to a special needs child. And I'm thinking it's the best thing I've ever done for him. And I'm really proud of both of us. Both of us, because we're doing it together. And I got my little whiteboard and I write little inspirational messages on there. And it's not unspectacular. I just write, we're in this together. We're in this together. That's what I wrote this week. I stayed up there all week. And then next week, I'll write something else. I'm so proud of you. And I went to, I don't remember what store I got them from. I think it was Walmart in the school section because I went and bought school supplies on clearance. They had awards. So he's going to get an award at some point because I bought awards at Walmart for like $0.25. And I fill out what he did that he earned his award for. I've burned up 2 batteries already. I'm going to let you guys go. That's the update. I will see you tomorrow for the Kayla thing. Okay? Bye, guys.